Hello dear friends, my name is Angela, I'm your host today and you're watching an info session of Peking University where representatives from different schools are going to take you to a from the inside journey, introduce their schools and what they can provide for students, what majors are available and why you should consider the PKU as a potential place to study. So what's up for today? So as you can see right now we're living in an era of globalization and this is the time when everything develops rapidly and we are facing many global issues, and one of them is how to build an eco and green civilization. So we really hope that in the near future, like going green and sustainable development can become a trend in our lifestyle. So guess what? Why I have started to talk about this topic? Exactly, because today we're going to introduce the College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering. There will be many representatives who will introduce college from different angles, and what I am excited personally about today, it is that we have an honor to invite to our studio a Dean of the College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering, Professor Tong Zhu. Wow, so let's give floor to Professor. Professor, welcome.
Thank you, Angela. So it's my pleasure to have this opportunity to describe what we are doing and how we educate our students. As you mentioned that we are under the globalization, and one of the challenges the global is facing today is how can we achieve a sustainable society. And the United Nations has initiated about the 17 goals, so-called Sustainable Development Goals, that strive for that we are going to achieve as a global society, that we are going to provide the, for example, clean water and take the climate action. So that is very important for the future of human beings.
And this is exactly what college also is specializing at, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So what I'm going to emphasize is these challenges is undermined by very important globally networked risks. Besides the global governance failure, we know that, and the global economic disparity, environment, climate change, and other environment issues pose a serious risk to the human beings. For example, besides air pollution, water security, food security, now the COVID-19 pandemic is a very good example showing that we are living in a global society and how serious these issues can cause to the damage to the whole human beings. So that's the challenge we are facing today.
Yeah, we cannot see that maybe in our life, but actually everything is around us and we need to think about it.
Yes, many things could happen. Many things already happened now.
So we need to change, yes, these are challenges that we are facing.
Yes, exactly. So the College of Environmental Science and Engineering started from a very early stage in China. It's right after the United Nations, the first Convention for Environmental Protection in 1972. We established the first environmental chemistry program in China. And ever since that, we evolved into a full program for graduate students. And at that time, in 1982, we established Center for Environmental Science. By the year 2007, we established College for Environmental Science and Engineering because we think we may need to extend our education program from the graduate to the undergraduate students. So now we have the full education program for environmental science and engineering. So what we look back, the college has been engaged in China. It's already about 5 decades now. And we summarize in 2 phrases. We have been played a leading role in the forefront of environmental protection in China. And besides that, we serve the society by providing sound policy suggestions based on excellent fundamental research. So this is what we have been striving for. So our goals and the vision is we want to excellence in our fundamental research, and in the meantime, we emphasize too the relevance to the societal needs. By doing that, we have been developed world's first-class environmental programs including the first-class research platforms, and we have been working hard to cultivate the high-level talents with global vision. And we have been developed a top environmental policy think tank. And according to many ranks in research and education, we are very high in these ranks. Well, I'm moving on to provide more information about our college.
I really want to know a little bit more about it, because right now what I have heard, I think that about education and how to educate students, you're doing everything with responsibility, because we have seen that there was written like high-level talents. So this is what is your goal actually with global vision. So you have many collaboration, I guess, and also about extendance of all the departments and majors. So I think that college is all the time trying to upgrade itself continuously and responsible for providing knowledge and also research and teaching facilities. I think everything is put together so that our students can feel that here they can reach success and become like the top of the top, be the high-level talent.
Yes, thank you for your comments. Yes, we have been working hard to build a first-class program. So we have been evolved from the 1972 to today. As we mentioned, that we started with science. It's very important to have the observation of our environment, our Earth, our global or the environmental issues there, and understand the mechanism behind that, to understand that. But we later on recognized that not only discovery in the environment, but we need to find a solution. So in 1982, we established environmental management program. That means we want to put the interdisciplinary, not only from the fundamental research, but from the social science, like economy and law, to provide integrate research platform to provide a policy recommendation to the government. Then gradually we realize also very important that our students in the future, some of them could also be able to find the technology solution to these issues. So we established the environmental engineer program, emphasized technology innovation. And in recent years, health has been put the first priority among almost all of us. So we put the health and environmental health into our education program. This is a frontier fields and also I would like to say cross-disciplinary fields to educate students.
Yes, talking about interdisciplinary, well, I can feel the same, because in my major, what I'm studying, it is also like everything is connected together. So you have been talking about that there must be some social researches should be mixed in. So why do you think it is becoming more and more important?
Yes, because we are living in, as you mentioned, a globalized society, and we are much more closer than before. And environment is an issue that not only from the nature, but the human actions cause a lot of environmental consequence. So to find a solution, we have to change the human behavior. And the social science is very important to find this recommendation or the change, how do we change the human behavior.
Yes, exactly. And also talking about recommendations on policy making. So I thought that you're doing only research in laboratories, but not connected to policy making. But as far as I can see, that you're playing a very important role in this part, right?
Yes, yes. It is very important, especially I think in China, we have been such a experience in the fast developing stage, and many issues come much faster than we anticipate. So we want not only to find the problem, but to find a solution. So we must working closely with the policymakers to find a solution.
Okay, thank you. So we can continue.
Yes. Throughout almost 5 decades in the past, we has already established what we call the systematic and a comprehensive education program that are covering full disciplines in environment area. We have the environmental science to understand the mechanism, and we have environmental engineering to have the technological innovation for the pollution control. And we have the environmental health to identify hazard to the health and how to control the risk to human health. And finally, we have the environmental management to provide the policy and the recommendations to the government, and hopefully eventually we are able to provide a comprehensive governance to the government and society. We have relatively small faculty. According to Chinese standards, the number is a relatively small faculty, but we have high quality. So we use certain kind of criteria, like we have the academicians, which is the top scientists in China. We have 3, so 5% of our faculties are academicians of Chinese academies. And we have national teams, 5 for innovation and education. They are funded by National Science Foundation and also Ministry of Science Technology and the Ministry of Education. And we have 5 key laboratories funded by same Ministry of Science Technology, Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Ecology and the Environment. Our research, sometimes I say our footprint have been focused in China because it is the immediate, very urgent environmental issues that needs to be dealt with. So we have been focused on Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei region, and the Yangtze River Delta, which is composed of Shanghai, Zhejiang, Jiangsu, and the Pearl River Delta, mostly Guangdong province and Hong Kong, Macau. This major area environmental issue, the air pollution and the water pollution and the resource issues has been critical in the past years. And then later I'll move on to Chengdu, Chongqing. It's a very fast developing region in China. It's very local, it's in the center and the southwest of China. And we have been working on in Tibetan Plateau. It's a very remote area. We're looking at the very pristine environment to understand the nature process. And besides that, we have been working on East China Sea, Yellow Sea, South China Sea, and our footprint even beyond Chinese border, and we have been working on Arctic and other continents. So that's the environmental challenges from local to global. That's
not only focused like on one area, but different areas, because like geographically they're different, and also climate is different, so there might be some different salvations how to solve some problems that they have.
Yes. This region has common issues, but there's also unique problems. So you're right, we have been also identifying this unique problem and find a solution for them. Yeah. So I will give a few examples, but you have some questions before I continue?
Well, I think that's fine for now, because I wanted to ask something about air pollution, but I think that we can listen first and then I will ask, okay?
Okay, yeah. So sometimes we make jokes that air pollution is the most visible environmental pollution because you can see from your eye, but it's how it's formed and produced is you cannot see easily, because there's many fundamental issues we don't understand. So what we have been focused on, cutting-edge scientific research to understand how this air pollution is formed in China and globally, and then based on our understanding of this scientific mechanism, then we provide the solution. So we are first in China to propose the concept we call it air pollution complex, because we mentioned China has been so developed so fast. Many issues like coal burning, vehicle emission came at the same time in the same city. It makes our atmosphere or air too many components into that, and from too many different sources. So its formation mechanism and its solution is so complicated, and we call it air pollution complex. But the heading message is we need to understand the so-called nonlinear process leading to the air pollution, and we need to find a comprehensive solution for that. So by doing that, we have been established regional air pollution control technology system. This system not only to identify how the air pollution is formed, but also provide direct policy recommendation to the government. We have been working on in different regions like Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei regions, and Peoria Delta, and the Chengdu and Chongqing region. A few good examples is what we have achieved. For example, 2008 Beijing Olympics and Asia Games in
I remember that. I have been here.
Oh, you've been there?
Yeah.
Okay. So at that time, we see the blue sky, and we take credit for our policy recommendation based on our solid fundamental research to understand this one. So this is a very good example how our science program can integrate with policy and to solve a problem and actually find a solution to exactly to prove by the blue skies during that period.
Yeah. So blue skies right now, I think this is the first step, and what next we're going to do, like for example, air pollution, what we're thinking about, what can we do? It is maybe reduce usage of cars or change the way how cars are working, and also about factories using appropriate equipment. But for you, maybe it's even more to solve the situation, like change the situation in a scientific way. So for example, we're using the same thing, but somehow it can be more green. So is it possible?
Yes, actually, there's a very fast development in the our air pollution or air quality sectors, because you see that we emphasize the climate change and carbon neutrality, the goal to contain the climate change by 1 to 5 degrees, and that required we reduce the emission through the consumption of fossil fuel. And most of the air pollution came from the fossil fuel consumption. So you see increasing number of the electric cars on the streets. And you can see in Beijing, actually, they are building more and more bicycle lanes. And so this emphasis of reduce the using of cars and increasing of the electric car, that helps a lot in a sense.
So basically, although we see that the sky is blue, but there are issues that we still need to move forward to solve, right?
Yes, that's we are working hard to that. And air pollution has been improved, but it's not to a satisfied degree, and it's a long way to go, but we are working on that.
Okay. Hope we'll solve the problem.
Yes. And beside the air pollution, watershed environmental protection is also very important. We know in China we have the issue with the water. Is first, we have water pollution, and second, we have shortage in the water resources. These two cause the big issue. So in dealing with that, we emphasize a management system, not only the treatment technology, but also watershed resources management is also important. So in the fundamental research side, our college has proposed a concept which is called the all materials flux in the river ecosystem. That is also we call the paradigm shift in our understanding how the water resources and water pollutions influenced by all the components in the water system. So by understanding all the materials, help us understand all these issues. And so we have been carried out in Yangtze and Yellow River, the largest this program to understand the all materials flux in these rivers. And we have been doing that to answer many questions, like even how the erosion watersheds associated with CO2, carbon dioxide flux, etc. And to deal with the polluted water, and we have been working on sewage advanced treatment technology, and watershed simulation and optimization control technology. This has been used in many places to treatment of water problem.
I was thinking about we were talking about all material flux. So how have you reached this salvation and this thought? So I think that research, what you're doing, this is like a lifelong research. It's not about 2 days or 3 days.
Right.
So for example, if you have one issue, we're talking about, I don't know, global warming and how we can solve the problem and we can reach success like one step forward. How long does it take? Does a student who is studying here, for example, for 3 years or doing PhD for 4 years or 5 years, is it possible to have this one step?
Yes, yeah, right. This is a big issue, big problem, and it's a long way to go to finally solve that. Takes a long way to go there, but each step can help us to improve the air water quality and improve our understanding how it's controlled by different factors. So you're totally right that it's a lifetime career, but we need to start from the first step and move on to that direction.
So to improve our students who are studying here, you're very important. Even if you're doing a small part of the whole project, it is very important. You're playing a very important role.
Yes, thank you. As mentioned that now we are more and more emphasizing the importance of our health, human health, and we have been working on to understand how the environment pollution influence on our health. We have another paradigm shift to understand this one, not only from the pollution itself, but from which source emitted the pollutants, and eventually which policy we can use to protect our health. So this is how we establish this program. And so from the fundamental research, we have been working on all the study from the cells, animals, human bodies, and the population level to understand all these details, how the health were influenced by the environmental changes. So this is we have been working on. And very important for the education part, because this is a quite new area. We are lack of the students' education program, so we are the first in China to start the environmental health graduate program in all the departments of college in the university in China. We started in 2015. And we are also first to establish Department of Environmental Health in this year. This is also the first in the environmental college and department in China. We mentioned that environment issue actually is a global environment challenge, and we need global environment governance to help us to deal with that. So we have been established the science framework from the fundamental research to support the implementation of the international environmental treaties or conventions. So this is very much from the side of our program of environmental management. Many of our faculties have been very actively involved in the international organization like United Nations and the IPCC, World Meteorology Organization, etc. And we have been supporting all this implementation of treaties in China. Like we have been developed the first national program to implement the Montreal Protocol, which is to protect the ozone layer. And this national plan have been a good example models for the other developing countries. So because of the achievement of our faculties, we have been awarded many international prestige awards from the United Nations and from the United States and other organizations. So this means our college is one of the top, I like changing words, our college provides one of the best international collaboration program, because we have been carrying out fundamental research, collaborating with top scientists globally. And we have been working with global governance with also this international organization. So by doing that, we'll be able to have a strong influence globally and also educate our students with a global vision.
Exactly, I was thinking about that, because so we can broaden our horizon globally and at the same time also see how far are people going like abroad, and then we can exchange and maybe we'll have some new ideas and reach success maybe even faster.
Yes. Yeah. I just list a few examples in the past. I've been established many programs. For example, we have this international joint laboratory for regional pollution control. It's mostly from our college, and the scientists are from Germany. We have this urban atmospheric chemistry and health effect. It's a program funded by Ministry of Education and also Ministry of Science and Technology. And we have underneath the Future Earth is a global program. We established a project we called MERS, Monsoon Asia Integrated Research for Sustainability. It's trying to provide or trying to integrate the science and the policy and provide solutions to the regional government. And there's also, we have been very active international academic exchange. One example, we are a member of the International Foundation of High Altitude Research Stations in yoU. So this is going to be have lots of fun to go to there. And we've been a long-time collaboration with scientists from Max Planck Research Institute for Chemistry. Things like this happening all the time, and the seminars and workshops, meetings in international academic focusing. So now we have described, we have 4 programs: environmental science, environmental engineering, environmental health, and environmental management. All these programs provide education to the master and the PhD level degree, and all these 4 majors are open to global students.
Yeah, I can see the key sentence: 4 majors are open to global students. So it's about time to come. One
example, we have been actively established international collaboration in the education program is we have this international joint dual degree master program with London School of Economy and Political Science. This is a 2 years program. After that, the student will receive dual degree from both PKU and London School of Economy and Political Science. So this is my introduction about our college and our education program.
Thank you very much. Well, that was not a brief introduction. I think that was a full introduction, even in many dimensions. It's like 3D. And still, we have some college representatives from laboratories, and students who will share their experience and give us some food for thought. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone, I'm Keding Lu from the Department of Environmental Sciences, College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering, Peking University. It is my glory to introduce development of environmental sciences under the direction of science-driven engineering. Our department was the oldest department in our college, started as a discipline of environmental chemistry, which was established in 1972. To help the nations to solve the problem of environmental pollutions. At the beginning, the department focused on problem-driven scientific research. Shortly afterwards, in the research processes to elucidate the formation mechanism and the control strategy of photochemical smog in Nanzhou in 1980s, the department is emerged with science-driven engineering type of research. Several #1 studies in China was achieved under the lead of Professor Xiaoyan Tang. For example, the first comprehensive field campaign, the first model for air pollution control, the first environmental simulation chamber. In the last 4 decades, one landmark of the science-driven engineering work in our department is that we helped parallel data to establish a world-class air pollution control city cluster. The successful work is guided by the concept of air pollution complex proposed in 1997, led by Professor Xiaoyan Tang, and realized by several decades of air pollution control practices afterwards, which is led by Professor Yuanhang Zhang. Currently, under the formal university strategy to develop science-driven engineering type of disciplines, we further upgraded our department developments as shown in the schematic plot. In the future, we will focus on the topic of air pollution control and climate change from two dimensions. One is theory, technology management. The other is lab studies, commercial products, practice in city clusters. We will develop new theories which are critical to understand the formation of regional air pollution and climate change globally. For example, the oxidative radical chemistry in the atmosphere. In the last 10 years, we actually take the lead in this field globally. We will continuously develop new instruments to detect reactive and the greenhouse gases. We are currently the nation leader and also a global player for the development of advanced instruments. Some of the new technology has been successfully commercialized for a market of many billions of RMB. We will also continuously develop new model of developments for region to help them to achieve high efficient developments, low carbon emissions, and improved air qualities. Very importantly, in this framework, there are nonlinear interactions of science, technology, management, studies. And therefore, we will offer you with a distinct, wonderful, and comprehensive study experience in our department.
Hello, this is Wulin Yang from the College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering at Peking University. Today, I'm going to introduce the Department of Environmental Engineering. So the Department of Environmental Engineering was founded back in 1995 by Professor Jin Ni, and we now have 20 faculty members and around 10 staff. We have over 100 PhD students and master students, and also 35 undergraduate students. So the Department of Environmental Engineering have 4 research areas. The first one is water treatment, including wastewater treatment and drinking water treatment. The second direction is soil and groundwater remediation, focusing on the remediation technology. The third direction is solid waste treatment and utilization. The fourth one is environmental system analysis. The Department of Environmental Engineering has a good research platform and laboratory apparatus. We have over 20 sophisticated equipment, including GC mass, LC mass, and we have a special team of around 10 people, specially maintaining those equipment. So we also have a strong international collaboration. We will invite over 20 keynote speakers to come to give talks. And we also have R&D projects with Germany, Canada, UK, Japan. We also have the student exchange program to support our students to go abroad learning. Most of our graduate students are from the top universities from China. And since 1995, we have graduated over 500 graduate students, including 200 PhDs. And 70% of those PhDs stay in academia. Following the introduction, I will talk about my research on microbial electrochemical systems. The first one is microbial fuel cell by extracting electricity from wastewater. The second one is microbial electrolysis cell by extracting hydrogen from wastewater. Specifically, we are focusing on the electrode design and the catalyst development. We are also investigating the solution electrode interfacial processes. So our aim is to promote bioelectrochemical technology globally by specifically focusing on the water-food energy nexus. Our system has been used in China, Ireland, and Germany. We have published over 50 high-quality articles and get cited. So I want to say welcome to environmental engineering at CESE at Peking University. Here we value diversity. Together we can create greater opportunities in environmental engineering. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Yingjun Liu from CESE. I would like to introduce you the Department of Environmental Health, which I'm in. So what's environmental health? It's an interdisciplinary research field trying to understand how the environmental factors affect human health. These environmental factors can include air pollution, climate change, inadequate water, and etc. Environmental health is true interdisciplinary because to answer these questions, we need knowledge of environmental science, public health, as well as medical science. So why environmental health is important research? Well, because we are start to know that environmental pollution is major risk to health. For example, we recognize that air pollution is the fourth most important risk factor to the total deaths of over the globe. In 2019, it caused 6.7 million deaths in total, and it contributes a large fraction to many causes of the deaths, including COPD, diabetics, and stroke, and so on. PKU has a long history to study environmental health. At CESE, the research started in 2000 when Beijing Medical University merged with PKU. And the first project is about the health effect of air pollution in Beijing, led by Professor Tong Zhu and supported by PKU. From then, the team and the impact of the environmental research team at our school have been growing, and we have led some major NSF funding schemes like over the time. And in 2007, we have established the Environmental Health Center. And in 2015, we start to have a PhD and master programs in environmental health. In 2021, this year, we finally established the Department of Environmental Health. So the Department of Environmental Health is really a young department. Now we have 7 full faculty members, including 2 full professors, 2 associate professors, and 3 assistant professors. We also have more than 3 adjunct faculty members. We carried out a lot of fun research projects. For example, we have done more than 9 panel studies, try to understand how air pollution in China affect the respiratory system and cardiovascular systems of children, young adults, and the elders. And we also built up a very good research platform to have a very complete characterization of the exposure and have the equipment, the exposure chamber, to understand the mechanism of this exposure and the health effect, and also have a very good analysis of the health indicators. And for the students program, I would say it's really student-centered. In the first year PhD, we will have rotation, so the students can have a chance to find the group he best fit in. And we have a bi-weekly seminar. The students can communicate with each other and talk about the progress. And we, starting from this year, we also start to have a biannual summer school, which we invite world-leading experts in this area to provide extensive 3-day courses. In addition, in the department level, we have a lot of team building activities such as skiing, New Year gathering, and a welcome party for new students. So to give you a taste of the research we have done in our department, I will briefly introduce me and my research. I got my PhD at Harvard in 2015, and then did a 2-year postdoc at UC Berkeley, and then joined PKU in 2018 and as a tenure track assistant professor. My research is about indoor air quality and health. When we talk about air quality, we often think about air quality outside. However, we spend more than 80% of our time indoors, and most air we breathe in is actually indoor air. And in the indoor environment, there are many sources of air pollutants. For example, the building and furnishing materials, the personal care products, the activities such as cooking and smoking. So the air indoors can be really different from outdoors. So I have carried out a lot of research, tried to go to the real indoor environment to understand what kind of air pollutants people are exposed to. This is a project we try to do real-time measurement in new apartments in Beijing. And we also did some observations in offices on the PKU campus. And we also try to connect indoor air exposure to the health effect. This project was in collaboration with my colleagues Tong Zhu and Ji Chenggong from the same department. we try to measure the air quality in the student dorm and try to understand how the indoor air quality is associated with the indicator of their respiratory systems. So I will give you a brief introduction of some of our recent results. For example, we identified a class of compounds as emerging indoor air pollutants in the new apartments in Beijing. These compounds called dibasic esters. They are not known for their occurrence in indoor air before, but they have been increasingly used as solvents in furniture coatings. Another of our work finds that indoor ozone chemistry can affect indoor air organic composition even at very low ozone level. This work has important implications for environmental health. It means if we want to assess the health effect of ozone, we have to also understand the health effect of the exposure to the oxidation product of ozone in the indoor environment.
Hello everyone. This is yoU from the College of Environmental Science and Engineering at Peking University. It's my honor to introduce our Environmental Management Department. Peking University is the earnest Chinese institution that researches on environmental management. It's also the earnest institution in China that offers master and PhD programs in this field. Over the past 4 decades, our department has developed expertise in a variety of important research directions. Our faculties have been tackling critical national and global environmental issues based on cross-disciplinary expertise. With our diverse backgrounds, we are a highly interdisciplinary and inclusive department. We are also proud that students graduated from our program often continue their mission of environmental management by serving national, local governments, international organizations, non-governmental organizations, or research institutions. To give you a more specific example of the research we are conducting here, our group focuses on understanding the interactions between the human system and the natural environment. We ask 2 main questions. First, what are the environmental impacts due to human activities? Second, what are the feedbacks of the natural environment on the society? To answer these 2 questions, we rely on scientific analysis, systematic thinking, and interdisciplinary collaboration. For instance, by integrating life cycle assessment, geospatial data analysis, and regional atmospheric chemistry model, we build an integrated assessment framework to tackle the multi-aspect environmental consequences during China's energy system transition. In addition to focusing on national environmental management, we are also deeply committed to global sustainable development. For instance, we propose a new water stress index by integrating water use flexibility, water use scarcity, and water supply interannual variability. Along this line, we also provide scientific evidence for designing climate adaptation strategies for irrigated agriculture under changing snow melt. If you are also considering devoting yourself to solving global environmental issues, our department provides a great platform for you. We look forward to having you join us here at Peking University. Together, we strive for sustainable environmental management.
I'm Zhang Shiqiu, the professor of environmental economics and policy at the College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering at Peking University. We are living in a dynamic world, facing lots of challenges, including the climate change, environmental degradation, resources depletion, loss of biodiversity, and etc., which impose heavy risks on human health and the sustainability of the world. There are interlinkages among all those issues, not only in physical terms, but also in social and economic terms. It is highly needed to address those local, regional, and global problems under the overall framework of sustainability by greening the economy, low carbon practice, restructuring energy, and innovation. To responding those challenges, we need to know whether the current levels of social and economic activities exceed the carrying capacity of boundaries of the planet, in which way, and what are the impacts and effects, and who are affected, what are the implications on human and ecological health and the sustainability of the world, and how does and what should the economic and political system and the society respond to those risks. We also need to know, can our economic and political institutions respond to the uncertainties and risks in reasonable ways? And can the nations, economies, and the world, including the economic and political system, work together to address those challenges? In order to better study and provide educational resources to students who is willing to take leading role for providing integrated solution to the environment, climate challenges, and reducing the health risks, London School of Economics, LSE, and Peking University, PKU, cooperate in the delivery of LSE PKU double masters in environmental policy, technology, and health. This is a 2-year program aimed at the award of both the Master of Science in Environmental Management of Peking University and the Master of Science of LSE in Environmental Policy and Regulation, or Environmental and Development, or Environmental Economics and Climate Change. This program aims to make full use of the research and teaching resources of both universities to provide a high level of international and interdisciplinary education and training, and to promote the academic exchange. The students will spend first year at Peking University and second year at LSE. Peking University provides 8 courses, covers both the fundamentals and frontiers on environment and health, energy resources and climate, environmental governance and policies, integrated assessment of environment, economy, energy, climate. And we hope to help the students to develop their leadership potentials, either academically or practically, for promoting and providing the solutions supported by deep understanding of the sciences, complexities, and interlinkages among various environmental problems. We welcome students from all countries to apply, and we hope to work with you together to explore the very challenging and exciting new journey.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Han Dai from CESE. Today, I'd like to introduce another exciting research activity in our college, which is using models to explore the pathway towards carbon neutrality by the middle of this century. As you know, the global economy has grown for decades. On the other hand, we are also witnessing worsened environment and climate change, such as global warming and millions of premature deaths from air pollution. Good news is that the governments around the world are taking active actions and commitments to tackle climate change. For instance, we have COP meetings every year, and most countries have announced ambitious targets to achieve carbon neutrality, that is, emissions equal to the sinks, by the middle of this century, including major developing countries like China and India. Meanwhile, China is playing a leading role in the global climate governance. However, there is really limited time for us to hold temperature rise below 2 degrees. Scientists have found that we could only emit additional 550 to 850 gigatons CO2 within this century, What does it mean? It means that if all countries keep emitting at the current level, the global economy has only 15 years to go. That is by 2035. In other case, if only China emits at the current level, while all other countries stops emitting, we only have 50 years. So, we need rapid transition within the next 10 to 30 years. This also means that we need you, the young people like you, to join us to fight for a better future. Climate problem is complex. We need to consider the complex relationships between socio-economic system and natural earth system, which includes many subsystems as shown here in the right-hand side. So, we need simulation models to analyze the co-benefits and trade-offs of different actions so that we could find the appropriate pathway towards sustainable future. Here at CESE, we are making this kind of exciting cutting-edge model, the so-called IMED model, Integrated Model of Energy, Environment, and Economy for Sustainable Development. It helps us to simulate in computers to see how the global economy will evolve within this century, how much energy we need, and how much greenhouse gas emissions and air pollutant emissions will be, and what policies are effective to bring down the emissions without compromising socio-economic development. Our model is freely available online, which means that you could use it at home or offices from your computer. Just log in our homepage, open the model, type in the settings, assumptions, and run. After that, you could see the future economic images, energy consumption, emissions, and economic impact and reduction potential of carbon neutrality pathways. And then it helps you to select a good pathway for your own country or the region. For more information on the model, please visit our homepage. We're waiting for you here at CESE Peking University to do exciting and valuable research together for the whole humanity.
My name is Gong Jicheng from the Department of Environmental Health. I believe we all want to be healthy, and we are living in the dynamic world. There's a lot of things could affect our health, including the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat, etc. In order to keep healthy of the population and our human bodies, we need to keep our environment clean. But currently, we are facing some problems of environmental pollution. We need to control them in acceptable levels, but there's many problems that we don't know. There's too many pollutants in our environment. We don't know which one is more critical in causing our human health. It is very important for us to know that information before we start to control. And another issue is how these pollutants affect our human health, through which pathway we could use biomarkers to indicate human health condition. And we have many cutting-edge instruments in our department. We can use them to analyze the small molecules from the environment samples and from the human bodies. We also need to construct the causal relationship between the environment and the human health, but there's many problems we don't know yet. So in order to solve those problems, in our department, we have developed a whole chain study principle, which means we studied the relationship between environment, pollution, exposure, and human health from the sources to the component, to the health effect, and to the policy. We use this way to systemically investigate the relationship between the environment and the human health.
Hello everyone. With rapid development of economic and society, A large number of pollutants are digested into water, destroy the ecosystem, and affect human health. Laboratory of Environmental Engineering mainly focus on how to effectively remove the pollutants with low energy consumption and low cost. About more than 100 years ago, activated sludge process was invented to degrade pollutants into harmless substance by functional bacteria. Activated sludge process is the most commonly used technology for wastewater treatment. Among here, activated sludge is composed of many functional microorganisms. It can be used to remove chemical oxygen demand, COD, nitrogen, phosphorus, and many other pollutants. As carbon neutrality has attracted extensive attention across the world, it is particularly critical to develop high-efficiency, energy-saving, and low-consumption wastewater treatment technologies. Our team has long been devoted to the ecological research of animals' bacteria and the practical application of animals' technology for the actual wastewater treatment. Let's take a look. The red bacteria is the animal's bacteria. It is very magical because it can directly convert ammonia and nitrate to nitrogen gas. Let's look at the traditional nitrification and denitrification process. It means the ammonia converted to nitrate under aeration condition and then to nitrate. And the nitrate finally transformed to nitrogen gas using carbon salts. And the animal's process can directly convert the ammonia and nitrate to nitrogen gas. Thus, it can save more than 16% aeration, and it also can save 100% carbon salts. This is the typical wastewater treatment reactors. And this equipment contains a lot of functional bacteria. This is the influence of this reactor. And here is the wastewater. So it can flow into this reactor, and this is the effluent of this reactor. So many pollutants are degraded here by the functional bacteria. For example, in the effluent, the ammonia concentration will be 100 milligram per liter. But after the treatment, the effluent of the ammonia concentration can decrease to about 2 to 5 milligram per liter. So more than 19% of the ammonia will be removed to nitrogen gas in this reactor. We develop a lot of methods to increase the removal efficiency and the bacteria activities. Certainly, we still have a long way to go, and we look forward to you joining us.
Air pollutants are usually at very low concentrations, and many of them are highly reactive in the atmosphere. Therefore, collecting them and bringing them back to the laboratory for analysis is insufficient for studying air pollution. At Peking University, we have developed an advanced mobile laboratory and movable integrated supersites to allow ambient measurements in locations that cannot support full laboratory facilities. Here are the movable integrated supersites. This container is equipped with electricity, AC, and other laboratory facilities. We are now able to deploy many of the state-of-the-art instruments in these containers. Here is the PicK mobile lab. Instruments are installed inside the vehicle and powered by a battery system. The mobile lab gets the real-time measurements of air pollutants while driving. When the vehicle runs in the city, we get the spatial information of air pollutants that serves as a very important supplement to the supersite observations. We are standing here at the Peking University Urban Atmosphere Environmental Monitoring Station. It's a roof station that consists of 3 sites. We are now in the central part. This station represents urban atmosphere, a typical urban environment influenced by various anthropogenic emissions. Online instruments are operated for years to measure the air quality in Beijing. During the recent years, we often suffer from haze episodes with extremely high PM2.5 concentrations. With advanced mass spectrometers and laser-induced spectroscopic methods, we can now get real-time chemical and physical information about PM2.5 and their secondary precursors at the molecular level. We have conducted several intensive field campaigns here in the past 5 years with the participation of international collaborators from Europe and North America. The purpose of these campaigns is to look at the sources and formation mechanism of air pollution, as well as the health impact of air pollutants. The scientific results may eventually turn into advice for policy decision on pollution mitigation.
Hi, my name is Molly Parsons, and I'm a master's student in the Peking University London School of Economics dual degree program. I'm studying environmental management and environmental economics with a focus on climate change. I initially chose this dual degree program because I was very impressed by both of the school's international rankings, and upon reviewing the course material, I found it to be exactly what I wanted to spend my career in. Even though I've only been in the program for a little under half of a semester, I've really enjoyed getting to interact with all of my peers, getting to work with some world-renowned professors, and all of the meaningful course discussion that we've been engaging in. I'm so excited to be in this program, and I can't wait to see where it takes me.
Hi, my name is Hayan, and I'm currently a master student here in Peking University, and I'm studying environmental management at the College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering. Peking University is obviously a great institution, highly ranked and highly renowned, not only has very strong academic reputation with leading world experts in environment, but also top of the class research on the air pollution, on the environmental health, on finding new ways of green development. So I felt it would be the best place to boost my credibility to take a move to an international career. Also, what I appreciate about the program is its diversity. When I say diversity, it is not just in terms of nationalities and cultures where my classmates are from. It's in terms of academic background. Some of us from engineering background, and there are some of us from natural science, and some others from finance or economics, which means that it's really interesting to share on ideas and opinions. I feel like I'm very lucky to be in an environment where discussing environmental issues and in development are everywhere. Also, I found that there are so many opportunities in Peking University, especially Chinese language course and China lecture series amazing. And there are so many speakers that come in who are leading in their field. It gives me a comprehensive understanding of China's history, culture, like politics and society. I'm looking forward to the rest of my learning journey in Peking University, and I believe that knowledge and network I gain from this program are going to be very beneficial towards me in my future career and make me become a holistic social scientist.
Hello, my name is Sylvan Lutz. I'm a Canadian student studying at the College of Environmental Science and Engineering at Peking University in Beijing. I chose the program and the school because they have a partnership with the London School of Economics to do a 2-year double master's degree program in environmental management and in my case in environmental economics and climate change at London School of Economics. And it really was the most comprehensive program I could find about climate change and climate policy, addressing the whole issue from both a scientific side during the year at Peking University, getting a background in air pollution issues, health impacts of climate change, and really just how it is in fact affecting people in their day-to-day lives, both in China and around the world.
3 months in, I can say that I'm really happy with the experience and the knowledge that I gained from the program. I've been really surprised at how well the program is actually delivered on the great amount of knowledge given that only 1 year. Highlights of my learning in Peking University is that every course is taught by experts in this field in China, from the academic research to the government policy. They are actively engaged with climate change in one way and the other. which means that the kinds of insights they gave us in class are unparalleled and not something that you could read off a book or an article.
So I'm Ted Koenig, and I work at the College of Environmental Sciences and Engineering at PKU, and I've been here for about 6 months, and I study air quality, particularly focusing on urban haze. Along with colleagues, I work to understand what causes the haze so we can try to mitigate it and help human health. We are looking at especially the wintertime haze. So in the winter here is when we get these haze conditions which are bad for human health. I'm part of a project where we're working with a Swiss group to look at what the health impacts of the haze are, and we're trying to connect those back through the different steps to what is the chemistry and the physical processes that make the haze, and then back from there to where are the chemicals coming from that then have those processes that make the haze, and then what are the components of the haze that really impact human health. We know haze is bad for people, but we don't know if there are parts of the haze that are worse for people. So I would say if you're thinking about coming, I would really encourage you to try it. And it's a very exciting place. It's very welcoming.
My master's PhD from University of Malaya, Malaysia, and 1 year postdoc I did over there, and now this is my second year, going to finish my second year postdoc in Peking University. If you think about the higher education and better environment, I think Peking University is the right place. Because here the environment can give you that motivation to improve yourself, improve your knowledge, and how to dealings with your education life and with your professional life. Here can teach you automatically. I believe so.
Wow, a lot of information and a lot of questions in my head. So I will ask them instead of people who are watching us right now. So you have been talking about one program. It is a dual program which is connected with London School of Economics. So dual degree master program. So does it mean that we have a double pressure? Like how you are mixing the programs? So how this cooperation happens?
London School of Economics and Political Science has established a dual degree program with Peking University in other colleges for the years. But you're right, they are under pressure from these two universities. That's the top programs. Yes, we actually we have set the standards. Each university has our own requirements, and they are also required to deliver thesis for both universities about different topics. So this is under very high pressure. But from the so far, with our experience with the students we have, they are actually capable to function well under this dual pressure, but I think they actually benefit a lot under this double pressure, but also benefit from the top faculties from two universities. Their vision, their knowledge about their fields is also doubled. Yes. And they have also this culture and international experience has also been doubled.
So this is the advantage.
Yes.
Although you're pushing hard, but you're getting more.
Yeah,
this is exactly the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think their opportunity is going to be more doubled because they're exposed to these two different cultures, two different education systems, and so many outstanding faculties they're going to interact with. So their future is also, I think, more than doubled.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And then we're going to the next question. It's about laboratories. So when we're doing all the testing, so I think that students need patience because there will be many failures until we find the right way. So during this time, were there many students who want to quit? This is the question, like who is standing until the end and going until the end and graduating, and someone is quitting. So how can we solve this problem? So maybe you can share your experience.
Yes. We know that doing scientific research experiments, most of the time we failed. And we try and error. This is try and error method that we do the science. We try different ways. We test our hypothesis. And eventually, maybe 10% or 5% were proved that's successful, and most of them are failed. And this is how we do the scientific research.
That's the only small percent, only 10% out of 100, I guess.
Yes.
Wow.
But this success means that we make progress in expanding our knowledge about nature. So we're allowed to repeat in the past, we are creating new knowledge. So this even small fraction of success is a big step for the human knowledge and for the human beings. So that is a very important one. And I want our students to understand we are constantly encountering many difficulty challenges in our education programs, but if you are working hard, you can find a solution. And we have also excellent faculties will work with you to find a solution. So, or most, I would say 99% of students have successfully obtained their degree, even though they're in the process, they encounter many difficult challenges.
This is like going hand in hand and side by side, and this is how it goes. Well, I think that we had a very great info session today, and once again I want to say thank you very much for your attendance, and thanks to everyone who was watching us. And if you have any questions, so feel free to look at the website about the enrollment and also about requirements, etc., or maybe write an email. Just feel free to contact us and we will answer you as soon as possible. And the last, what I would like to ask, so why do you think people should choose PicK and why this college? Maybe some few words at the end of our info session.
I think PicK provides very unique experience if you want to know Chinese culture and how we integrate from the fundamental research to the society needs. PicK provides a very comprehensive education program. And if you're interested in finding a solution for the human beings in the coming years, and you should join us at the College of Environmental Science and Engineering.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So I have been doing a small research yesterday, so I wrote down my thoughts about the college. So I think college is facing global challenges and trying to change the world to a better place and hopes to improve the quality of life. And maybe from the next year, they will continue to do it together with you. Okay, so thank you for today. Thank you for listening our info session, and we hope to see you soon and maybe meet you at PicK. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.